Edward here from the Crypto Viewing Group and beyond. A very important video here, dealing with the brain. As you know, this is my work here, my exploratory work, and I've discovered something very important in my opinion. It relates to the dentate gyrus. Dentate gyrus is part of the brain in the hippocampal formation. I have done many videos on the dentate gyrus already, and I'm going to continue because I have realized some new aspects of why this part of the brain is so important. It relates to remote viewing, or this thing that we call remote viewing, and how we process information, quote unquote. The dentate gyrus is responsible, hypothetically, and I have a lot of confidence in this. First of all, how did I find the dentate gyrus? I found the dentate gyrus through the process of remote viewing itself. Working these type of validation targets, lots of them, specifically to stimulate the parts of my brain that become active when a remote location becomes detectable. And then I experience that in my brain, and then after the session I go and I explore that part of the brain, and that's how I found all of these parts of my brain, including the dentate gyrus. Dentate gyrus is responsible for the spontaneous exploration of novel environments and other functions. In my opinion, that's a great definition for remote viewing. What is remote viewing? It's a spontaneous exploration of novel environments and their functions. It's a great definition for remote viewing. There's another thing that the dentate gyrus is responsible for, and it deals with processing information. And there's two elements of it: pattern separation and pattern completion. In remote viewing, it can be considered in the realm of analytical overlay, depending on which camp of remote viewing you're in, what type of remote viewing you have learned. But it's in that category over there. But this is way more defined than that, and makes a lot more sense than that, in my opinion. Pattern separation is when neural information enters into the dentate gyrus, and when it comes out, it is not a completed in the form of a memory comparator. Meaning, is it unimpeded input or not? The dentate gyrus can dictate unimpeded input, meaning that when the part of the brain, in the brain stem, in my opinion, has the attractor selector mechanism for that range of time and space, or what's called a target, and that is accessed, in my opinion, it goes then into the dentate gyrus. Those neural cells of information go into the dentate gyrus. Pattern separation is where the information is coming in through novel channels, new neural pathways of expansion. Pattern completion is where a memory, an episodic memory, somatic memory, recognizes elements of that information and then completes a memory on top of it. That's pattern completion, or in the realm of AOL. I have an example here of pattern completion. There's elements of pattern separation here, but there's elements of pattern completion, and that's what's more important. This is the target, one of the many validation targets I work continually. In my opinion, any remote viewer who is worth anything works validation targets often. Anyway, I don't know where this is. That information was not provided in this feedback photo. These are ancient columns. There are 6 of them in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when I went into this session here, my intention was to explore shapeform recognition. I got more out of it than that, which is the greater understanding of the importance of pattern separation and pattern completion as it relates to the dentate gyrus part of our brains. I don't think I have any sound, but so I go right into it. No ideograms of any kind. This is after some breathing exercises that I do to stimulate this part of my brain. I'm not going to go into that now, but the shape form element of it presented itself within a few seconds, and I got up and I hit play and I put it down, just to make it clear on what that part is. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? How many are there? There's 6. Okay. My comparator is a horse race. Okay. So basically what I'm showing here is that elements of what can be considered unimpeded input or pattern separation are present. 1, 2, there's 6 things in a row. 6 things in a row. The completion or the comparator, it's the COMP. It's more of a completion of the pattern, showing in my mind is wanting to go into this idea of the racehorse, meaning that there's 6 things here, and the completion element is a memory of a horse race. Where is that coming from? The pattern separation element here, the 6 elements are being processed through the dentate gyrus. Inside of the hippocampal formation area is where the memory completion or the pattern completion element takes place. So what's important about this? The important thing about it is that I've discovered what part of the brain, in my opinion, is responsible for this. That's what makes it so important, in my opinion. This is a novel discovery, and the discoveries will continue. They will continue. I was calling this comparators or memory comparators, but now I'm going to call them pattern completions. Anyway, I hope you find that interesting, and there's many more to come. Many, many, many